So is there any way for you to finally feel like you kind of finished the game?
Never.
When I pour on the streets because I've
you're
converted all my money to gold coins.
You're also
to Logan's Loonies.
You're a Puzzle Quest head, just like everybody else.
Lawrence starts salary.
Lauren said he quit.
Yeah, he hasn't played for 20 days, and he's probably gonna get kicked out of our alliance.
He has to be removed.
Did he ask to be removed? Yeah. Oh, okay, good for him.
Did he ask to be removed?
He asked to be removed.
He's like, just get me out. I'm done. I'm done with it. And then I was explaining to him why Medusa and Blade's a really good combo, and he's like,
I'm back in. Welcome to a foot-filled bowl of dude soup. Trying to get the ratings up. So I wore sandals.
We don't get ratings.
Yeah, people love my feet.
It's like 45 sick dudes who want to sling some yogurt between your toes. Yeah, that's it.
40 guys.
The last time that Blaine and I checked WikiFeet.
Why'd you do it together?
Like 30 people. Blaine there? 30 people go on that site too, at least. There aren't many people.
I had a perfect score, and Blaine is my witness. What are you doing? Do not.
James is gonna
compete with me.
Whoa!
Look at those feet.
Look at those feet, huh?
Look at those feet. They're like babies' bottoms.
Those fingernails.
So
it's actually a problem
bottom.
for me when I do like physical activity that involves like soccer or something that involves a lot of turning. I blister up real fast because I got baby feet.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Okay, I finished.
Your toenails are so clean. Everything.
Wow.
Everything's
nice.
very clean. My toenails come out nice and
Get out of here, old feet.
If we could get a close up of her feet, you'd see
we can't.
jagged nails.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So
if we get a close up on James, it'd be perfect.
No.
Well,
I don't know much about
Jesus'
your feet, but I feel like they're mean to other people.
Thanks for joining me.
I think your feet hate minorities.
Whoa,
take that back.
That's a big accusation.
I wish Lawrence was here. Unfortunately, he's not feeling great.
It's nice. The shag feels good.
But Lawrence would never allow this kind of behavior.
Hey, Lawrence ain't here. Can't stop me now.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Movement Watches. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/dudesoup. And also brought to you by Mack Weldon Underwear. It's better than what you're wearing right now. Go to mackweldon.com and get 20% off using promo code SOUP. So thank you to our sponsors. We'll hear from them later in the show. Yeah, today I wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff.
All right.
First and foremost, I want to talk about VR. Is VR not gay enough?
The answer is yes.
Nope.
Good answer, Bruce.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Guess what we can't use for a title?
You guys will remember Robert Young. He's the indie dev behind the free-to-play Radiator 2 collection. So that features 3 short experimental games, Hurt Me Plenty, Succulent, and Stick Shift.
Played those games.
And they are about male sexuality, punishing, eating, and driving.
Is it Young or Yang?
I don't know. I thought it was Young, but...
Young. Y-A-N-G.
Young.
Mandarin?
Young, maybe?
I don't know.
Okay.
So he is currently trying to bring Radiator 3, which is another collection of his indie games, to Steam Greenlight with VR support.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, live the dream.
And they're kind of these games are sort of great for that because there's a lot of movement.
Oh, that's true.
Specific movements going
Lots
on.
of ass spanking and condom shooting.
But Robert Young, a lot of his games are meant to have very deep commentary on what it is to be a gay man, the gay community.
Is he gay?
I don't know that if he is.
Okay.
But that is a lot of what the
I guess it
subject
doesn't really matter.
is. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. And it's weird because like everybody kind of picked up on these games and said like these are pretty like crazy games, which they kind of are. I think anything relating to sexuality kind of is conceived as wild.
They're also surrealist as well.
Yeah. But he had a little bit of a problem with a lot of streamers like playing his games and sensationalizing them. I rewatched the video that we did, and I didn't really feel that way about it.
What do you mean by sensationalizing?
Well, sensationalizing in like, oh, this is weird or this is gross, or not. Maybe sensationalizing is the wrong word. Maybe vilifying them.
Oh, no.
Like saying, like essentially saying like that this kind of behavior is wrong. That's being displayed in these games. The article that recently popped up on Kotaku interviewing him references the Jacksepticeye video, where the game is referred to as messed up, and viewers are forewarned before they watch, so they don't just like vomit all over the floor. Is the wording used? I believe.
Maybe because it's there's too much nudity.
Maybe you guys weren't that way at all. I mean,
no.
I mean, it was just Tuesday.
I mean,
yeah, it's just a video game.
James, as a matter of fact, said this is better than I've ever done at any other game.
There you go.
Was your kind of response to it? If anything, you guys were more criticizing of whether the game was valid as a game more than about anything sexual about
We
it.
didn't see because we don't see color.
You mean it was too it was too real? It was
Yeah,
too,
well, not real enough. But in my opinion, personally, I think like sex is funny, gay, straight.
Oh,
like
it's
it's inherently
really
funny.
funny, yeah.
It's like, you know, we
Leslie
are
Nielsen wearing a full body condom,
yeah.
and Priscilla Presley
Presley,
wearing a full
yeah.
body condom, rubbing against each other.
Yeah, we are essentially like primates, like monkeys fucking. Anyway, but I think wants his work taken a little bit more seriously. Which is why I don't think he made this comment in jest, but it'd be a little cool if he did. But he said that he wants to keep creating work that is obscenely gay. And, quote, it'd be beautiful if I managed to convince homophobes that VR was for gay people, and so these gross people stay away from VR entirely. So he wants to make, like, the gayest VR game ever.
Why not?
So that people associate VR with being super gay. And then I'm all for it.
Wait. You support discrimination?
Well, I'm all
Interesting.
for it too. We've talked about this briefly in something else. Oh, in the YouTube flagging LGBTQ plus
yeah.
videos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird, and I get where it's coming from, but it's weird that when you're talking about sexuality, sex is the first thing that you have to think of. So he wants to make something obscenely gay, and even his first game, or what, Radiator
2. Well, Radiator 2 was I think his
Radiator
second.
2
but-
was the
His
one we
collection,
played,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even that is like, if it's about homosexuality or whatever, it still involves like a popsicle. Like it's still like referential of sexual acts. It's not just two men finding companionship with one another.
Well, of course
It's
not.
something like, it's weird how that's kind of the case, and it's also weird that he's like, oh, I want to make something, and the only thing I can think about is how to make it. But by obscenely gay, all I can think about is the sexual aspect of it.
Which
And I know
which
that's
makes
the
sense.
difference, right?
Yeah,
because
kind of.
you can have a friendly relationship. Adam and I can hang out and kiss each other and stuff like that. But if we're not putting our penises inside each other's butts, we're not gay. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's true either.
I mean, there are straight people who have long relationships where they don't have sex.
That's true.
And that doesn't necessarily make them, that doesn't define
Like,
them.
if you want to make a game that was obscenely straight, what would it look like?
Just be sitting on the couch watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
Gay people love Game of Thrones too.
Exactly.
Because there's
Like-
lots of dicks.
Yeah. I mean, not everything has to be. I know sex is like the driving force that is behind basically everything, anything you do in your life, supposedly, according to certain
Freud.
According to
just-
me.
Yeah. And James.
And James, yeah. But not everything's got to be sex, yo.
I'm always conflicted because he has, I believe, said that he's trying to make games for the gay community. So is it then bad if like we're playing them? Because they're not games made for us. But
Well, why is that? No, I mean, like, if it's a video game and it's out in the open,
that's
then-
how
then we're gonna play it.
I feel we also have a ton of gay fans and
We do.
LGBTQ fans,
that's true.
like plus to
More
be
than
exact.
anything, video games are experiences. That's so good about them. I'm not actually traveling through Hyrule. I've never met a princess in my life.
Yeah.
But through video games, I can. So it would be very short-sighted to think about making a video game about the gay experience, but not want anyone who isn't gay to play it.
That's true.
Because this is the one chance you can actually put people that aren't in those shoes.
Try
and
before you buy.
They can experience, well, try before you buy, but even understand, make an effort to understand. It's like, that's a waste, in my opinion.
What I gathered from Robert's comments was the fact that basically he wants to make these games VR, have somebody who is a homophobe play them,
Oh, yeah.
and sort of break down those walls in that person's head, sort of be like, oh, it's not. I mean, it's just sex. It's not as weird as I thought it was. Maybe that was the interpretation I got from his
See,
comments.
that's how I would think he would maybe feel about it. But he has also gone, or can be quoted as saying that he really doesn't like the idea of VR being these empathy machines, because a lot of people are looking at VR going, VR will show you how to empathize with someone that is different than you. So you can play a game where you're playing as like a gay man and then understand what his life is like. Robert Young doesn't really seem to be into that concept, which makes me like, I don't think his comment is really like that salacious to say like,
Yeah.
I just thought it was kind of funny. And I'm sort of like, yeah, let's make VR as gay as possible, because I don't really want homophobic people in my community personally.
I'd like to
but-
know sort of his tone of voice as he was saying it, because
Probably snarky.
we've had him. I think he's been on Dude Soup before. Actually, Lawrence has quoted him. I think it was from Twitch streaming, but he was very kind of outspoken and it seemed very loud about this topic. But I'd like to talk to him about it to find out how he actually feels, because I wasn't sure if he was being sarcastic or funny or who knows. You know?
Well,
Yeah.
it also feels like as a game developer, at least, he's trying to test people's limits,
Yep.
and that's the kind of thing that rarely, Andy Kaufman had certain kind of humor that was designed to get reactions out of people, and then you just talk to him one-on-one, and he was still trying to get reaction out of you, because that's kind of how that person is wired.
Well, like Stick Shift, which is the game where you're driving a car.
Oh yeah.
That, like when I read into it, is supposed to be a commentary on like the police attacking the LGBTQ community.
Really?
Because you have to avoid the cops seeing you.
Is that what Robert said?
That's what Robert said. Yeah. So
Wow.
it's like he has all these super deep like social commentaries to his games that you would never like. I guess that's also a problem too, because we see it and we don't like, unless you're really fucking thinking about it, you're not going like, this is about cops targeting the gay. Like it's
Well, there's also the whole aspect of when an author creates a work, it's kind of out there to be interpreted, and the author can always come out and say, I wrote Lord of the Rings because it was supposed to be a parallel of World War II or whatever.
Right.
But if someone's like, well, I read it this way, or I didn't pick up on that, or no one picked up on that until you said something, it's like, well, then we have to judge the works.
Well, it's
in
like,
different ways.
was it Upton Sinclair with The Jungle? He put it out there, and he was like, it's about terrible governments. Like, but there's these stories about children working in factories. Like, yes, that's one small part of it. Like, let's focus on this part. He's like, no, but the bourgeoisie, like, we must take them down. Like, nope, sorry, Upton.
I guess this kind of
work out.
resonated with me because I always feel like it's really rock and roll when somebody is like has the stance of if you're a bigot, I don't really want you consuming, or I don't really care if you're a fan of mine.
It is.
I don't know. I think there's another way of going about it. So like one of the coolest rock and roll bands of all time, Queen, was called Queen, and it was in your face, and it was some of the best music ever made.
Couple of hot straight dudes.
Well, I mean,
A bunch of hot straight dudes.
I mean, Freddie
fucking
Mercury
chicks.
was most likely bi. I don't know. Whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. But
Doesn't
like,
matter.
I love the fact that it was like, this is music that kicks the shit out of like a lot of rock out there, and it was called Queen, and
Yeah.
it's like, it's just so the straightest dude in the world who could be the biggest homophobe is like, yeah, I fucking love Queen. Queen rocks, and it's like, there's a bunch of gay dudes. And it's like, okay,
I'm a killer queen.
yeah.
I agree with you, Adam. I've always liked that. That's why I liked Radiator 2 before, because like it got everybody playing it, because it was kind of like this taboo thing that nobody wanted to touch, or like be like, oh, I would never make a game about spanking a naked man's ass, and he did, and then it got everybody playing it.
But I'm curious if like he's upset, like if he watched our gameplay and saw us having fun with it, if he would be upset because you guys
Yeah.
didn't say anything derogatory
Right,
or
right.
it was just kind of like fun and laugh. Like I don't know if he'd be upset by that. I'm
You
curious.
put your game out there.
Yeah.
If you just let anyone play
Yeah.
it, then if he only wants specific people to play it, then he should only give it to those specific people. And
Yeah.
that's how it goes. But
Can only be playable at his
and
studio apartment.
if he can't look at it and say that like, oh, this game could be interpreted many different ways, then he's kind of got blinders on too. And I'm not saying that's how he feels, but
Yeah, but we don't know.
I think that goes for any artist that
But-
makes something so overt.
But going back to his comment too about saying like, I want to scare people away from VR, whether he meant that in jest, I disagree with that, only because I think VR needs all the help that it can get.
Sure.
Because it came out with a bang, and now it's kind of at this plateau, and we still haven't got the killer app for VR, which is a little disheartening.
Half-Life 3's coming.
Man, who knows?
Remember, that kid saw it.
Portal 3, Half-Life 3, they're on the way.
No, I mean, we're like I said this when it was first, being popularized, but we're still in the alpha or the beta of what VR is. Like you're still being tethered and all these things. So I'm not for anything that discriminates against people enjoying what could be the next, evolution in gaming.
Sure. I'm sure there's lots of VR gay sex too that you can go out and get, just like there's VR straight sex.
Well, I mean, actually, so to James's point, this could go straight or gay either way, but like how that's kind of cool that you could have a VR sex experience without actually having to. It can go both ways, it can be good or bad, but like,
Test the waters.
well, yeah. So like some kid is maybe having trouble trying to figure out their sexuality, and they can go, I want to know what it's like to be with a man. And they can be like, I don't like that. Or, oh, maybe I do like this. And then you get on Craigslist and you do the rest.
And you're like,
Get on
both.
Craigslist is the next
Yeah.
I know.
direction.
From VR gay sex to
Or
Craigslist.
Or Grindr. You got all sorts of.
There was another one that
What does Patrick
just,
use?
Patrick just told us about another one that wasn't Grindr.
Oh, it was for dudes. It's for like hairy
wasn't-
dudes only.
It was like Otter or it was something like that, where it was like a niche of a niche.
yeah.
Damn it! What was
It was like
called?
Grindr, but only for hairy dudes.
Yeah. Oh, Scruffy?
Is it Scruffer?
Scruffer? It had the word scruff in it.
Cute.
Let me see. It's on my phone.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Recently downloaded apps.
Well, on to the next big gay news. Battlefront 2 has a trailer.
Oh, is that gay?
No, this is
Okay.
the dude the mans. What is it? The neckbeards are upset because it's a female protagonist.
Oh, they are?
Who's upset? Nobody's upset.
I didn't know
Let me
they
read
were
that.
upset.
Let me read the
No, it's
YouTube.
upset
Okay, yeah,
about
I saw things when Force Awakens came out, and they're like, well, get yourself ready, because there's not going to be another male protagonist in Star Wars for the next 10 years. And I was like, good.
No one's upset about
Our
that.
resident neckbeard Lawrence Sontag was pretty excited about
Nah,
this.
he's fine with that.
He's excited
there's-
about it.
There can't be someone that's upset about a female protagonist. Who cares? It's
I mean,
just a
there's
person.
definitely someone who's upset about it, but I don't know that there's an
Oh, because she's
uproar.
probably gay too. Oh.
Oh, maybe she is. That's
Now
hot.
I'm back in.
That's hot.
I was out, now I'm back in.
Are there any like gay protagonists in Star Wars?
There was a
Lando
recently-
is gay.
There was recently actually that's what it was. Billy D. Williams just said that he was like, oh yeah, Billy D. Williams Lando and Han were lovers.
Oh, really? I was joking.
I think he was probably kidding, but at
Oh,
the
that'd
same
be
time, I thought it was,
cool,
I thought it was
though.
Changes everything.
Here's the comment. Well, the fact that it's the third female protagonist that Disney has pushed in a major Star Wars product and completely ignores the fact that a majority of the people that buy these games are male and panders to a political group that wants to see the destruction of the West, known as feminism, yeah, I'd say that's a problem.
They don't have access.
That's a comment
They,
on
here,
the-
they don't have access to the number of Ray toys that sold versus the number of Poe toys that sold.
Oh wait, yes
right?
they do.
No, I'm saying this commenter doesn't.
Oh no, that guy. Yeah,
Disney
does.
Disney
Yeah.
knows.
Disney
Yeah.
knows.
And trust me, if putting female protagonists in their movies is only to push an agenda and it's losing them money and they're not making any money on it, they're gonna stop.
Have they forgotten about Luke Skywalker? Because he's the male protagonist in The Last Jedi. He's one of them.
He's a little girly.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing Mark
the
Hamill.
thing is,
It's the
like,
best supporting actor.
there was Poe and there was who's the fighter pilot?
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah.
Like
I think they're gay.
anytime I think of their names now, I just think Dick. Like from when we were the demo disc where you guys were doing Star Wars names, and you just go Dick. That's all I think.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true. There's Poe and Finn.
Yeah, so
They're
there's
both
like
male.
two male, like fucking, two female protagonists. The world's gonna explode.
So the Battlefront,
I'm just saying, prepare yourself.
the
Or
Battlefront
they're not gonna say
thing,
for another 10 years.
the Battlefront thing that's got me interested is that they're actually kind of doing what the original Battlefront 2 did, was they added like a pretty cool single player mode, which I think in that one you play as the 501st, maybe.
501st, yeah.
I think maybe, I don't know.
That sounds right.
But you were like, it's kind of cool because you started as clones and then you become like like elite stormtroopers, and then you actually end up like you go on Camino and you like destroy the clone factory, and you're like you fight alongside Boba Fett and stuff. I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat way of like following these clones throughout history. So like this one, you're part of the
yeah, you're
you're
Iden,
part of the Empire, right?
Iden Versio,
Yeah.
commander of Inferno Squad, an Imperial Special Forces unit, and
What's the timeline on this, Elise? Do you know?
It's
So
right
it's a
after
s-
Endor,
it's-
isn't it?
Oh,
it's
it
a
is.
story
Yeah,
that
they
spans.
watched the Death Star explode because
and
they're
then
like,
they're like, they killed our emperor.
Yeah.
So it spans 30
cool.
years.
Okay.
It covers all eras. So prequels, Episode 7. So Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, Rey, Yoda are
Yeah.
all going to be in it. And Adam had a really interesting, like, you had a cool theory
No, I
for the
didn't.
end of the.
oh,
So basically, like, the big question is like, is she going to defect to the rebellion? She's
Oh, I
part
said
of
that.
the.
I said that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Well, you
Bruce.
said that.
I-
That's,
I-
I think it's just a theory
I read
online,
there was a Reddit comment or someone said like, oh, how cool would it be if like they it ends with her on Starkiller Base, and so she's just like they do like kind of a Rogue One where they have to get the plans off of Starkiller Base to deliver them to the last order, or was it First Order? Be like, we gotta get the plans off of here, hurry! And it's sort of like
Before Starkiller
yeah, it's like
explodes.
a flipped version of
Yeah.
we gotta save the plans, and
That'd
that's
be
like
cool.
it's like a suicide mission. Yeah, there you go, TIE
It
fighter.
was in very, very important that Lawrence note that this is not the first Imperial
Oh no, not at all.
or Empire focused story.
No, yeah, I mean, like you can play as the Empire in a number of, and there are also novels and stuff like that
Yeah.
were based on like the Empire's point of view, and it always sort of like when written that way, sort of makes sense in the sense that it's like one of those you're like, oh well, they want to keep order, they want to keep peace, and the rebellion's just kind of fucking that all up. So the Empire's like, no, like we just want everybody to be cool. And it's basically when the Empire
through control,
through control and fear, and so eventually they overstep their bounds, and that's why the rebellion kind of steps in, which is what happens in history generally.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to playing as her because there's lots of really cool stuff in the Empire that we don't normally get to have access to, like TIE fighters and like the I think there's a lot of new TIE fighters and stuff like that in the game.
It's also really cool to see what they're doing. They've explored this before in all the novels and stuff where they did the Remnant, where it was all the stormtroopers that were left behind after the Empire was gone. But now they've threw all the canon out and the dumpster fire behind Disney Studios.
And my house.
And Bruce's was the street.
All the novels.
He just left all the novels
But
in.
not before moving it from the second story down to the
I should have just dumped it in the
ground
dumpster
floor.
from there.
Book's coming down.
But apparently, the game is canon. So this is sort of your way to see what how the Empire became the First Order over that 30-year span. So like, oh, that's a fun way of bridging it.
She's gonna defect at the end.
I hope
I'm
not.
telling you, she will.
No, die,
expect
die,
you to
die
defect.
for the Empire.
She's gonna die for the Empire.
She'll defect
because they're gonna have you so bought in to like accomplishing your goals. It'd be like BioShock. You're just trying to accomplish your goals that you don't even like. By the end of it, you're not even going to be thinking about the fact that your goals are going against the good guys.
Yeah,
in
like
Star Wars.
killing innocents and stuff
it's-
like
You're
that.
gonna be, you're like the final scene is going to be you overseeing the point where she's gonna be real old, but Han's getting stabbed by Kylo Ren, and then she goes, "Yeah," and then it rolls credits real
She
fast.
lowers her binoculars.
She has good binoculars on.
They're gonna add her into like every scene.
Oh,
She'll have
No,
the background.
She was
always
there
there.
all
She was
the
there for everything.
time.
That's what I really wanted Josh to like add a character to like day 5 like that, where he has to go back and spend millions of dollars reshoot, well, millions of dollars,
Yeah.
tens of thousands of dollars,
Bruce just needs fun
Chuck E.
bucks.
Cheese dollars.
reshooting all these past day 5 scenes to include a character.
Back to the desert with you.
Yeah.
I really like crazy harebrained schemes like that. Well, this game's gonna have space battles,
Yep.
split screen co-op like the
Yep.
last one did, on console only though. But it will not have a season pass.
That's pretty cool.
Battlefront 2 creative director Bernd Diemier.
You got burned.
Nailed
He
it.
says, "We don't have a season's pass," quote.
Okay.
Unquote.
He says he can't talk about the specifics of this, but there is something different in mind that will allow you to play longer and be more invested in the game without having a fragmented community.
Hats.
Well, nobody bought that. Nobody bought that season pass before for Battlefront. I'm sure like a few suckers did
I think I did.
because
did,
oh yeah,
right?
you did.
Can we
I
just-
didn't even buy it.
Did
We
buy
need
it?
it for a video. I
We
thought.
need to create a goddamn system that makes sure that everyone gets a chance to be the heroes.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
what James is always.
Instead of the
James-
power
The
up.
stupidest shit. Power-ups that are away from the
You
objectives.
got to get the pickups, James.
I'm like, there goes Luke Skywalker again. Where was he before? Oh, he was a soldier who spawned and then ran away from the objective and hid behind a hill until the thing spawned there, and then he got it. Now he's Luke Skywalker, and oh, he's on the top of the leaderboard too. Great.
The game was the most fun as a demo. When it was like a free beta over the weekend, we had so much fun. And then the game came out and went,
I mean, I thought it was fun.
I played
We
like
had-
20 hours.
good
We had a
time.
lot of fun. We did like a lot of the wave battles and stuff. The co-op stuff was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
but it was just that aspect of it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was
there was
weird
no
that they.
no thing like a meter that builds maybe
Yeah.
or something
They-
like.
James is right. They put the heroes pickups way at the back, right at the spawn, which didn't make any sense.
They were, like,
they should be
hidden
further
and-
up for
yeah.
people that engaged more in the battles.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
you should be
Or
rewarded.
rewarded based off
I
your
think that's
participation
what
in the battle.
Battlefront, the original Battlefront and Battlefront 2 did.
Yeah.
Was like, if you were like top shit, they're like your Jedi is ready, and then you get to be Mace Windu.
I mean, if
and,
it's
like,
the best person,
kick
then
ass.
no one will ever.
Yeah.
get to do it.
That's
But
why I didn't like
if it's
that.
if it's just,
Well, you just get bumped back to the back of the line. That's how it should work, right?
I mean, you should find a way to just have.
They
it
should
take
just
turns or
have
something.
randomly give them to the players.
I was fine with
Or
the.
everyone's Luke.
I was fine with the randomness. Everyone's Luke. I was fine with the randomness of it, but you're right. It should have been further up, not near the spawn, so that you just didn't sit there and camp the spawn.
Well, I would be running in and I'd see some guy running the other way and I'm like, God damn it. And then it would say this guy became Darth Vader. And I was like,
Of course he did.
Well, it sounds like they are listening to community feedback a lot, so that would hopefully happen for you, because the fact that they're not doing the DLC path,
Yep.
season pass, means that they're
But that might
They're
just mean that they're
listening.
just going to charge for the DLC. There's just going to be no season pass. Because they
Maybe.
don't know. Instead of, maybe they're like, we got such bad feedback because we charged people for season pass that we weren't 100% sure what was going to be. That instead of charging them, we'll just say, when it comes out and it's ready, then you can buy it. Like, I don't know that no season pass necessarily means free DLC.
You know what the DLC should be? It should be a code that comes with your movie ticket for like The Last Jedi or something like that. It's like you install The Last Jedi, then you get a free map.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
The
awesome.
end.
So, since it's all Disney money, it all goes to the same place.
Didn't they do
EA
that? I thought they
gets
did
it.
that.
EA
Didn't they give you like? I
dice
thought
money.
with Battlefront, I thought they gave you like.
I don't know.
They gave you like a weapon or something if you went to Force Awakens. I'm not sure.
I don't know, Bruce. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
I thought they did that.
Yeah. Also, if I recall, that Han pistol was way better than any other. There's like no reason to pick any other gun.
It was
Just
okay.
Pick the Han pistol.
Yeah. Well, versus the upgrades. If you played a lot of, the upgrades took forever. in this
That
game.
was retarded. Just
took-
give me 10 classes.
Yeah, they took forever.
Of Stormtrooper that you can just pick from.
I was-
unlocking stuff in multiplayer games is the worst.
I was not crazy about the upgrade system in Battlefront. Also, their servers were always fucking
I
broken
mean,
too.
I feel the same way about Battlefield. Like even
Yeah.
Battlefield 1, I'm like, I have to play 300 hours to unlock this gun.
Yeah.
Nah.
There are no blonde women in Star Wars.
There's
not a single
I feel
one.
like you're gonna eat those words.
What? No.
Why do you
blonde?
know something?
I don't know. I mean, there's
They're
like 6
blonde-
women in all of Star
Are
Wars.
there
which is
blonde
cool.
men though?
Luke.
Yeah.
Well, young Luke, but all young boys
the
are blonde.
guy, the guy from About Time that plays the.
The redhead?
Is he redhead?
What?
That's
Who?
you mean yeah,
forget
the
his
guy
name.
who is an utter ginger through and through. He's on the wallpaper.
Hux?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Hux.
Yeah.
Hux.
He's a wallpaper
Is
right
he?
now.
Is he redhead?
The guy from
Pull
Harry,
it
the guy
down,
from Harry
you'll
Potter.
see.
I ain't pulling it down.
He's like the most redheaded redhead.
Yeah, no,
ever.
he is definitely redhead.
Keep it playing. This is fun.
But he's in the Empire, so he's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's typically the case, though. Redheads are
did it
typically
stop?
bad.
I didn't stop it intentionally.
I think the. Are you excited to see Darth Maul fight Kylo Ren?
Nope. That's
No,
wait. That can't happen.
That was Yoda, but I'm saying you can fight between eras,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that'd be fun.
that'll be fun.
I know the single player is being written by the Spec Ops: The Line author, which I don't know what he's done since then. But
it was really good, though, right? Spec
Yeah,
Ops
Spec
Line?
Ops was good. I mean, I'm curious if it's aged well. I remember really liking it when we played it, and I feel like maybe a lot of it hinged on the twist.
Yeah.
You're a Yeti. The end.
You're a Yeti.
Yeah, you're like a bear. You're Sasquatch.
You're a Sasquatch.
That's
at
the
the end
spoiler?
of Spec Ops: The Line.
That's what a switch. No.
That's the twist.
Did you ever play Spec Ops?
no.
I don't
I
want
I know
to.
he
never
had
did
PTSD.
Basically. Yeah.
So we were pretty supportive of the original Battlefront game, or the original,
Yeah.
the one that came out 2 years ago. Is this
help the small
is this
guys.
too soon to revisit this?
No.
No, because they did a Battlefield game in between then.
They're gonna do this for every major Star Wars release. So the next one, Episode 9, they'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
It'll be Battlefront 3.
This is how games work, baby.
Yeah.
This is how it's gonna go.
Transmedia Empire.
Here's-
Brought to you by
Takes solace in
Disneyland.
knowing that if you miss this one, then you can always catch the next one. It's
EA
like
should
trains.
EA should consider. They're not going to do this. But they should consider not charging $60 for the game. They should consider charging 40 or 50.
They gotta charge $60.
They're gonna charge
They gotta
60.
pay back that license.
They're gonna. I know
Yeah.
they're gonna charge 60, but they should consider charging less because when I bought the game, it wasn't worth the $60 for most people.
So you think
Like for
that-
me, it was. I played enough of it, but
but it was overpriced to
it was,
you?
I thought it was over. Like
Well-
the more that I played it, the more I was like, gosh, this is overpriced.
I guess
Did
it,
you-
it depends if it's a good single player experience. I'm not
That's
saying
true.
I'm not saying it has to be long.
That's a good point.
I don't know.
Good point. No, you're good. That's a good point. You win.
So you thought it was a little overpriced, but you know what isn't overpriced? Because style shouldn't break the bank, Bruce. Okay, and that's why Movement watches make high quality minimalist products at revolutionary prices. And I'm not wearing the one I'm referring to today, but I have the ladies Beverly watch, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's a gray band. It's simple, but it's very fashionable, which is what I try to be. You know, simple in the fashion, but not the brains. And there's also a new style, the Dorado, which I think is really pretty. But the watches start at $95, which is a great price for something functional that you'll use every day and will last you. If you're wondering how you can get high quality at such a low price, it's because Movement perfected their online selling strategy, which means they don't have retail brick and mortars, so they can give you great prices on really quality watches. You can get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/dudesoup. And I've gotten tons of compliments about mine, so you will too. And so yeah, just step up your watch game by heading to movementwatches.com/dudesoup and join the movement.
I
Thank
see
you,
what you
guys.
did there.
Oh, I get it.
Steven stole mine.
Did he?
He did?
Yeah.
Did you take it, actually?
No, I gave it to him
Oh, that's nice
Oh,
of
that's
you.
right. You did.
because he worked so hard, and I had an extra one. I said, "Hey, buddy, you deserve it."
And he muttered something under his breath.
Yeah, he's been wearing it in all his videos on his very very funny channel.
Yeah,
No
it's
Minecraft
great.
videos, but that's okay.
Yeah, because he's not a Minecraft guy anymore,
I know.
Well,
right?
that's what I
Graduated.
subscribed to him for.
Yeah,
So.
a little chicken boy's all grown up.
Oh, he's now a chicken man.
I don't know about that one.
Joel or Bruce referred to Joel as the big chicken.
He's because Steven's Chicken Little and Joel's
Oh.
Big Chicken.
Big chicken. I like that
He's
a lot.
rockadoodle.
Absolutely.
Joel's kind of more of a hen.
Yeah, that's true. He is.
We can talk about Star Wars more if you guys want, but I couldn't pass up that transition.
The movie trailer came out.
Yeah.
Bruce and I had a meeting like right before we were in
Oh, yeah.
Austin,
That's
and
right.
we had about I don't know. I saw Bruce watching the celebration stream.
Well, Jack, literally, I sat down. I was like a little kid because Jack was sitting there. And he's like, "Hey, I got to record a video. You want to watch?" And he pulled the headphones off of himself. And he's like, "Here you go." And he put them on my head. And I
You're
sat
sitting
down and I
Indian
watched.
style. Yeah.
Jack lifted you up.
I know. So I watched the whole thing.
Well, I sat there watching Bruce watch the celebration because Jack, Lindsay, and Jeremy were recording a video on the other side, like at Jeremy's desk. So Bruce and I were on the other side, and I'm just watching Bruce while he watches the screen. And then they're like, "And here's the poster," and we're like,
Yeah, I know.
we had like a big meeting
It's a lot of red.
at 11. Yeah, and then
It's gonna bleed.
it was like, did we watch it
Trailer?
before we went to the meeting? Yeah.
Once.
So yeah, we watched it
I
once.
could barely hear it.
And I watched it mute because I was watching Bruce watch it, and I went, "That looked cool.
Does
It
look cool.
looked like they're gonna be on that island for a while."
She will, but that's the good thing about the Star Wars
You just go to Poe or Dick and
they're
they're going to
gonna-
do
yeah.
anything.
Poe or Dick, and they'll take us
Poe
on
Dick.
adventures.
We'll see. I mean,
Someone
Ryan
pointed out that
Johnson.
every single time Poe gets a new X-wing, it blows up.
Every time. Yep, every time.
BB-8. No, I don't know.
I thought it was really cool. And I'm not even that big of a Star Wars fan. So,
Did you really think? I'm glad. I was kind of like, I was like, all right. Like the Force Awakens, the first trailer I saw for Force Awakens blew me away. I was so excited about the movie when I saw that trailer. But Last Jedi trailer was like, cool. I mean, like I'm going to see the movie obviously, but it was like one of those things. I was sort of,
I'm way more invested
undersold.
in the growing narrative because I feel like I came out of Force Awakens going like, okay, they played it real safe. They
did.
just did A New Hope again.
Yep.
But now that they made $1 billion, they can
They can
do whatever
Empire
they want.
again. Yeah.
yeah.
But it doesn't look like they're doing Empire again necessarily.
They're taking,
I mean, it's similar because it's our young hero on a deserted place with an old wizened mentor.
So Lawrence had a really good piece of speculation when you were recording your No episode. I don't know if you were there when he was yelling at everybody.
He was drunk.
Yeah, but he was saying
When
how
was
he had this interesting speculation about how because there's Luke's line at the end where he's like, the Jedi has to end or whatever, but like Luke has come to the conclusion that the Force is this ever-present force that has its own agenda, and Luke's just sick of it, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with the Force. Like it murdered my family essentially, and I want nothing. I want no part of it. And so like everything is a cycle, obviously, like the way everything's been going, and that's sort of why like the last movie is so similar. And he starts to see the trend, or he's seeing the similarities of like, what you blew up Starkiller Base, we did that, and then it leads into this, and you have Kylo Ren who's basically Darth Vader's like, you guys got to just stop it all, and it's gonna be, I don't know, that it was sort of an interesting insight, but who knows if they're gonna go that deep into the movie.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just say at some point, so I would like for someone to step up and go like, it seems like the Jedi are good guys, but I guess we're just doing the exact same thing with the Force that the bad guys do. Like
I think
we're
that's
pushing our own agenda, and as much as we talk about how things need to be even,
Yeah.
we're still trying to wipe them out. So that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think that's what's going to happen in the movie. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna go right down the middle and be like, the Force isn't black or white.
Yeah.
But then
It's the middle.
That's kind of where the fan theory subreddit was at
Yeah.
because I like to hit up that subreddit. I love fan theories, good, bad, stupid, dumb. Well, I love them, and they were kind of more of what we thought was the balance is not the balance because there needs to be more of a gray area reached.
Well, I think it'd be interesting too if some of the theories about Rey having a dark past, her being dangerous or whatever, but also she also seems to be utterly heroic and feels compelled to do the right thing in most situations. If she is the embodiment of the Force, because she isn't pure to one side or the other. She's kind of both sides together, and so that's why she is the chosen one, because she is the one who is most tormented by and hopeful of the Force, which is exactly what the Force is supposed to be.
I hope they cover all of this stuff. I mean, like, I'm worried.
I'm just excited for the narrative to go forward.
Yeah,
I know
me too.
people really like Rogue One, but I was like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like,
You
you're
know
just
what's
filling in blanks that I already kind of knew.
Yeah,
You
know what's
know,
gonna happen.
But what if there was a middle management power struggle between
Yeah,
Grand Moff
well-
Tarkin and
Yeah, I know.
what if they
weird talking guy?
What if from the time that they were at the top of an elevator, they desperately wanted to survive, but when they got to the bottom of the elevator, they had come to terms with their death? That's an elevator ride, I'll tell you that much.
$15 worth.
A lot of people still pushing the Jar Jar Binks Sith.
No, we already know what
Mastermind
happened to Jar Jar.
theory.
He became
Yeah.
like a clown.
He's a beggar. Yeah.
I know, but
Kids throw
I
their shit at
saw a
him.
lot of like Snoke isn't real. It's just Jar Jar.
Oh boy.
I want to find out more about that. I'm excited to see the narrative progress because it's
Yeah.
really fun.
It feels like they did the work with Force Awakens. Like, okay,
Yeah.
they tackled the big hill. Like, people still love Star Wars. They made a shitload of money. We've established new characters. Like James always says, the second movie is always the easiest one to make because you can do whatever the hell you want.
You don't have to start it or finish it.
Yep, there's no origin story, and they're clearly going with a dark tone with all the stark reds and the high contrast. So
Yeah.
I'm interested. They got my money already.
It's like the Matrix trilogy all over again.
Yeah. We need
so happy.
We need something to be excited for because April the giraffe gave birth.
Oh yeah.
So we don't have that to look forward to anymore.
Took forever.
You guys hear
I
about
didn't follow
this?
it at all, but I did follow Ricky from ETC, who followed it very closely.
I've been following it for the last couple of weeks because we tuned into it. Bethany and I
Giraffe
tuned into
watch.
it like 4 weeks ago. It was a live stream. It was like, she's going to give birth. And then we watched it for like 20 minutes and I was like, when the fuck is this giraffe coming out?
How long do drafts usually take to come out
I
of the
was gonna say,
snatch?
Well,
it took forever.
The actual shooting I'll show you the video because the actual shooting out of the calf.
Yeah, we put it up.
was great. Yeah, I'll put it up. But just a little information on this: 1.2 million people watched the live stream of this.
That's embarrassing.
On Animal Adventure Park's YouTube page. 4 million people watched Donald Trump's inauguration. Just for frame of reference there. And I checked this morning, and 84,000 people were still just watching the giraffe.
Yeah, well, it's adorable.
According to Trump, though, that's not accurate.
Toys R Us. That's
He's
good
way
ad
bigger than
placement.
Giraffe. Oh man, look at that standing too.
This little boy, this
Careful.
The side by side.
Toys R Us, yeah.
Toys R Us logo.
Careful, because it goes by in a wink.
Did we look up how long these things normally take?
well, it took April like 4 or 5 weeks. They were thinking the draft was going to come out, and it never came out. It finally just
I guess you
plopped
can't
out.
ask her, but you
Look,
That's the giraffe.
did they like their water break?
Look at all they had was first.
So the giraffe. See, this wouldn't happen if the giraffe had a squatty potty.
and it just dumps it
It would have
out.
come out with
Oh, it's so cool.
And there's the afterbirth.
Oh, that's a lot of it. Oh my god.
Oh, look at all the liquid. Oh,
It's all over the little boy's face.
it's beautiful. Nature's just a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Oh,
Steps
God.
on it.
Oh, that feels. Oh,
That other giraffe's checking it out back there.
That's the dad.
yeah. What the hell is going on in there? Keep it
oh,
down.
that was in me?
I'm trying to eat leaves.
What's cool about the little giraffe, the little boy giraffe, it came out at like, I think it was like 6'3", 150 pounds as a baby, as a brand new baby. Yeah, it's basically James. Popped right out of that.
So I've learned two things. First, this giraffe. I had heard that when a giraffe was born, it plopped out and it just fell on its legs.
No.
And immediately had to start walking around.
Oh yeah, I
that
thought
from
I
who?
feel
From-
like I
like
knew
a biology
that too.
Someone who told you as a
Because
joke.
like if it doesn't
As a teacher.
doesn't do that, it dies or something.
Well, yeah,
right?
it has to start
But
walking
clearly
almost
it just.
immediately. Well, no, it doesn't come out onto its
doesn't
feet.
and then
But you got to give it 35
Waterfall.
seconds. Yes, giraffes do have to stand very quickly because normally giraffes
just
I
saying,
think are migrating
when
and they're not going to do this or anything.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's funny that you get a picture painted in your head when you're young, like in your high school. Teacher's like, those giraffes come out, they land right on their feet, and you're like, yes, they do. Thank you, teacher. And then now with the beauty of the internet, we can watch things and go, oh,
As the stork
no, it's
flies
disgusting.
in, as the stork flies in, the little thing that it's on has leg things, so then the stork lands it, so it's right on its legs.
And then also,
And the
yeah, we
stork
gotta-
sprays.
I got.
So I have something fun though, but go on.
No. The other thing I came to terms with was we're watching that 1960s series on Netflix, and they talk about the whole JFK assassination. I was always taught that Jack Ruby, the guy who killed Oswald, hung himself in his jail cell. It's like, no, he died of lung cancer. What the hell, guys?
I think this is like when you thought
just had bad teachers.
This is like when you thought that guy from Mortal Kombat died of AIDS.
He did.
I love that. That's my favorite story. He died of AIDS. And if you go back on it, you can see that Adam only thought that because once he played a sailor. So Adam went from, he portrayed a sailor in a movie or television show.
Because he died, and then he died of AIDS.
And then sailors are gay. And he was gay so he got AIDS, so that's how he died.
I had read he died of HIV.
You can see the degrees there.
Well, he looks like a guy who would die of AIDS.
Because he was dressed like a sailor, which you associate with homosexuality.
Based solely on Kano.
So I had a fun little idea too here. So now you can help name April's calf. It was a boy.
Bodie McBoatface.
To vote, it's $1, right? And you can vote a minimum of 5 times or minimum of. I think they mean maximum of. Do they mean maximum of 5?
No, you got to do minimum of 5.
It's 5.
And so if you do vote, that money goes toward, it's split between the Giraffe Conservation Foundation and then Ava's Little Heroes, which is helping kids with epilepsy.
Darth Maul.
But I thought maybe we should come up with a name
for the
and then
giraffe.
encourage our viewers who would donate
idea.
to try to get, we should try to get a name pushed through for this giraffe.
Maybe we'll save it for the post show.
Post show, you
because people can submit questions then.
Well, we got to name the.
But we got to get the.
We'll do hours, but we can keep submitting all day.
The biggest.
Because we want to get as many people voting for the same name as possible,
I would have thought about
right?
it more.
I'm sorry. I did share the.
How about Tupac 2?
Tupac 2?
Because Tupac's dead, so if we give him the.
What about Tupac?
Not necessarily, but
PAC.
What about?
Oh yeah, Tupac.
He's back.
How about Jeffrey the elephant?
That's good.
That'll confuse people.
Been taken.
Not the elephant.
how
about Kano?
David Giraffe. Like David Jaffe.
Oh, David Jaffe, but David Giraffe, right? Yeah.
Can we move on?
Yes.
Hold on. Who else was assassinated or shot?
Oh God.
I gotta think of somebody else. Who else would want to live on in giraffe form?
Giraffe FK?
Selena.
Giraffe FK. Selena. Just call it Selena. It's a boy.
Today's her birthday. She would have been 46.
Is it really?
I think so, yeah.
46 years young. How'd she die? She died of AIDS, right?
No, she got shot.
Shot with an AIDS bullet.
Oh, no.
See,
she hanged herself in her jail cell like Jack Ruby?
Yesterday was her birthday.
No, I missed it.
No.
Well,
bitty bitty bum bum.
You should have gotten a dulce de leche cake.
What did you guys do for Easter? That's what I thought, heathens.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
of it?
Did you go to Easter church?
No, I didn't go to church.
Heathens.
I was in Austin.
Did you go to church?
I drove by one, yes.
Nice
wow.
job.
Actually,
you also saw the German
I
Shepherd.
walked down I was walking in a neighborhood where there was a church picnic going on, and the kids threw their soccer ball into the street. And I bravely ran in the middle of the street, which was empty, and threw the soccer ball back, and they thanked me.
That's
Wow,
great.
what a
Somebody
hero.
was shot and killed at the CVS near my apartment this weekend.
right.
So I
They
couldn't
were.
go get yogurt last night.
I read that.
So I was too afraid.
I'm not going to do it again, Elise.
We don't know.
That's the safest spot. That's like if you ever see lightning strike, run to there.
Yeah, go there. You're not going to strike twice.
Scene of the crime.
All right, well, we got to think of a name for this stupid giraffe.
Yeah, okay.
Think
Maybe
about
in
it,
the post show we'll come up
I'm
with
going
something.
with Giraffe FK.
Giraffe FK is pretty good.
I don't get it.
What?
Like JFK, but
I
giraffe.
know, but giraffes aren't spelled with a J.
Shit.
So a lot of the stuff just left
Giraffe
on the podcast
Giraffian.
now is housekeeping. There's a cool new makeup trend that I saw recently. It's called I don't even know what it's called. It's like brow feathering or something.
It's called feathering, yeah.
Whoa,
Where you make
it looks
your-
like a feather.
Wow.
Make your eyebrows look like feathers.
It's a bird face.
Elise, do you think, how long does that take? Is that real hair? Hold on a minute.
No. They're
she
they're
didn't.
taking a.
So they took their eyebrow and they split it in half.
So this girl Stella, her and her friend Levy thought it'd be funny if they like brushed her eyebrow to look like a feather. And I guess they used like eyebrow glue or gel or something to do it.
That's awesome.
It was a joke, but now everybody in the online makeup community is apparently doing it. I don't really know because I'm not part of that community. I'm not allowed in. But
They revoked your pass.
She never had one.
but
Just wants yogurt.
I just wanted so you guys could show your wise girlfriends.
I would
maybe
like to.
they-
Well, no. What about I want a feather.
You want to do it?
Yeah,
do you?
I'd like to give it a shot.
Are we at a point in our
play Live's
society
coming
where
up,
we
yeah.
want more eyebrow?
Well,
We want the eyebrow
Yeah.
to cover more space?
Well, in the '90s, we had less. Remember, we just shave it off and then draw it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're
Yeah,
going the
now
other way.
people do like eyebrow implants, which I think it's called blading.
Well, that's tattooing, right?
Well, no, the blading is temporary.
Oh,
like a
So,
henna tattoo,
they
but
just
for your
kind of make
eyebrows.
it look like you've got
I realized I was an old
like little
person
cuts, I think.
when I found Benson.
Come
I
You had a-
realized
you had
an
a-
old person
you had
when
a
I
hair
found. I was just kind of like looking at my face, and I saw that there was one eyebrow that was just huge.
oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, when did that grow in?
Yeah.
And how long has it been there?
Yeah.
Like how did this happen? It was just an eyebrow that had just
That's-
lived
that's
within
normal.
my skull.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I'm going to do an experiment. So then I trimmed it short to see if it came back, and it did.
Of course it did.
It just can grow longer than other eyebrows.
Wow.
It thinks it's head hair.
It got lost.
But if your lady did this, would you be like, okay, or would you be turned off
I mean,
by
I support
it?
her as long
Probably-
as I can put the bag over her face and we
Oh,
can continue
jeez.
making love.
Oh boy.
That
I'd be
was,
fine
that
with
was
it.
a sexist
Did
joke.
she
I didn't
feathered
mean
her
that.
pubes?
So we got woman Star Wars.
Well, I can just draw the giraffe face.
Feather her pubes.
Or
If
Kano.
it looks like a maple leaf or something like that.
Oh, because Canada ratified the Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
That's why.
Yep. On this day.
That's
in
what James was
history.
thinking about. Yep.
That's what gets me off.
Ratification.
Yeah,
Rights-
ratifications,
rights and
Canadian
freedoms,
government.
You know what gets me
policymaking.
off? When I see James in those Mack Weldons.
That was fast.
Yep. Because Mack Weldon is all about smart design, premium fabric, and making your life easy when it comes to macking, pun intended, on some new underwear. And James raves about how much he loves his Mack Weldons, and I have to say that I do appreciate their silver underwear line that's naturally antimicrobial because it makes his drawers smell fresh, even when maybe they aren't as fresh as they could be. So if you want to try Mack Weldon, they have shirts and socks and the whole deal. But if you do want to try a pair of their underwear, you can buy some and refund it, no questions asked if you don't like them, because Mack Weldon wants you to be comfortable. They also want you to wear underwear that is going to last and hold up to everything that's going on in your crazy life. So whether that's your love life or your squat life, they're making underwear for it all. And I know everybody at Funhaus has been blown away by how comfortable their underwear is, including the rest of their line too. So socks, shirts, hoodies, sweatpants.
Love their shirts.
You guys all love them.
Their sweatshorts are
Shorts,
awesome.
That's right.
And you guys can check them out too and get that comfort by going to macweldon.com and getting 20% off your order by using promo code SOUP. So thank you, Mack Weldon. And hopefully you guys check it out because frankly, I'm tired of hearing about it from you. So just buy more Mack Weldon so I don't
Is
have to
that-
hear about
Can
it.
I now? Can I actually do that? now?
Yes, please.
All right. I will.
Okay, and use code SOUP,
I will.
please.
I'm wearing mine now.
I am too.
They're like the short ones.
Me too.
I got my little box.
No, I know. We get naked in the office
Oh,
pretty
right.
much every
right.
day.
We look at each other.
The last thing I kind of want to talk about, because I guess we've been talking about like sexuality, gender, feathering.
We learned a lot here today.
This episode. Charlize Theron to Vin Diesel, kiss off. Kiss off, she says.
Oh, Charlie said that to Vin?
Not really. I just made up that headline.
Oh.
You should be her publicist.
But so
Get her
Charlize
cigarettes for
Theron
her.
and Vin Diesel, they share a kiss in Fate of the Furious. You guys know because you've seen the movie.
It's hot.
No, it's not.
It's
Well, she's kind of like pulling him toward her, right?
It's weird.
it's
a
like
weird
almost
kiss.
as though he's attracted to men.
It's very strange.
There is a scene with him and Michelle Rodriguez in bed, and they're kissing. I'm like, that's some solid acting from both
Both
of
of
those.
them, yeah, no, I know.
Both of those homosexuals are really acting like they are straight. I applaud them, and I hope their Oscar is in the mail.
Isn't Vin Diesel married to a woman?
I mean, everybody says he's gay, but
I don't.
I know
Whatever.
that.
I just assume if you're in Hollywood, you fuck anything that moves.
I would.
'Cause- Well, yeah, because it's like nothing feels good anymore because you're dead inside because you're constantly playing someone else.
also everything.
and that's how you lose your soul.
Everything's beautiful in Hollywood.
Oh yeah. Ugh,
There it is.
Apparently, Vin Diesel has been.
that's a new tab.
Apparently, he's been doing like the press junket scene. And
Who's that old man in the bottom right?
That's Alan.
He's always doing press junkets. Last
he loves
2
doing
years
it.
ago or whatever, when the last one came out, he was singing that song about Paul Walker.
He loves doing it.
He's been going on about this kiss with Charlize Theron. He said, I was definitely not complaining. Charlize is not a bad kissing partner to have.
Still beautiful. To this
Do I know she enjoyed it?
Diesel.
He said, do I know she enjoyed it? Oh my God, yeah. A kiss cannot lie. Lips don't lie. No, they didn't. She owned it.
Whoa.
So Vin's saying like, yeah. And then Charlize goes on Ellen. She says she doesn't get it. He's going on about this, and she really doesn't get it.
Well, it's because Vin doesn't realize that Charlize Theron's an actress, whereas Vin is not really an actor. He's more of a superhero. Like he thinks he's a superhero. And Charlize Theron's been acting professionally for a very long time at a very, very high level. And Vin Diesel's just a big, muscular, bald guy. So I think that's why he thinks that it meant something, because she's good at acting.
I wish they would pan down, because in that scene he hands her the Last Witch Hunter 2 script.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he puts it in her back pocket and goes, just something to read
Where's
on the
the
way
second
home.
one?
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably part of it too. I think she's also thinking, like, in the back of her head, she's like, man, all I did was sign on to do this movie. They were like, we're gonna need you for 2 months. I was like, sure, we're gonna pay you a ton of money. I was like, sure, awesome.
Maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
She's mostly in a control room for the entire
So
movie.
either way, she's like, it's a real low impact thing. And like, as an actress, I probably sort myself between things that make me money and things that I need to work for. She, in Monster, probably put herself through hell so that way she could look a certain way and perform a certain way.
Got an
Whereas
Academy
Vin
Award.
Diesel thinks that Fate of the Furious is him pulling out all the stops. He's going really deep down the Stanislavski method to really make that one work. And so, like, he probably he's like, he was just a moment, amazing moment between two actors. And she's like, they said kiss, so we kissed.
So I kissed him.
Yeah.
yeah. Most people watching this don't speak the language.
Yeah, I
So
played pretend.
who cares? Pretty woman kiss blonde thing, or reggae hair kiss bald
Yeah.
thing. Next,
Reggae.
$1 billion later.
I think it's just some playful ribbing between two friends now when they talk about this. But
Apparently,
We-
The Rock and Vin Diesel hate each
yeah,
other.
there's a lot of bad blood going around.
You know what the
on
true
this set.
travesty of that movie is? Clint Eastwood's son is in the movie.
Oh yeah,
Scott Eastwood. And I remember I had known nothing about him, because I may have seen him in movies, but he's just sort of like
He's nothing.
he's
a literal nothing.
He's sort of like, he looks like a who's that actually good at Zac Efron? He's like a bad version of Zac Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron looks good. He looks
Zac-
like a retarded.
Well, Zac Efron's like this beautiful man who
him
can
up.
act, and he's actually
Yeah.
a good guy. This guy, he just has a famous dad. And I remember I was sitting next to Josh Flanagan. His dog's name is Eastwood.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
how much
right.
of a.
Oh, he looks
Clint-
like Chris Evans, but not as good. That's
Okay.
what,
kind of.
yeah.
But so I
He looks
remember.
like
He looks
Elgin-
like Liam
Liam Hemsworth, but not as good.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Or he looks like yeah.
He's sort of just this pretty boy, but he's in the movie. And I remember at one point I leaned over to Josh and went, Breaking the Alamo Draft House Rules, and went, Clint Eastwood's son is terrible. And he went, yeah, he's really bad.
But if we were walking down the street and you guys saw him, you guys would all be like, that guy's hot, that guy's hot,
No.
that guy's hot.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good looking
muscles.
dude.
Can you find shirtless? Then I'll be the judge.
Oh, no, he's got like a six pack.
He's not as ripped.
Because there's a big difference between a douchey looking regular guy like that and a
Shirtless.
douchey looking regular guy who's got muscles.
Yeah, no, he's not as ripped as Chris
shirtless
Evans.
cowboy.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, which is him?
All
There,
of them.
there's that's
mean,
definitely not him.
Are we just
no.
looking at shirtless
That dude's-
cowboys
yeah,
now?
that's these dudes are massive.
That's him.
There he is.
But that's not that buff
that's no
looking,
beefcake.
Type in
you know?
Scott Eastwood on the boat. I've seen that one. Well, people were sharing pictures when they were talking about.
Be careful what you
the,
search for here.
I'm telling you, Chris Evans is better. He's hotter.
there we
He's
go.
more ripped, and he's a better
it is.
actor.
So people were circulating these images around
So I've
when they
seen
were
this
casting
one.
for Dark Tower.
I remember
because they're
that.
like, oh, he'd be the perfect gunslinger, and
Because
Clint
he's
East-
got a cigar in his mouth
Well,
and
'cause-
they like Clint Eastwood.
Well, no, Clint
God,
Eastwood.
I hate when people.
Clint Eastwood was the original
Yeah.
inspiration for the gunslinger. So they're like, Scott Eastwood's perfect, and I was like,
God.
oh, well, if he can act, that would be kind of cool.
Click the
but
shirtless one, Elise.
Which one?
The one at the
one.
top middle. That one.
She doesn't see nudity. I mean, that's
Like if you guys saw him, you would all be raving.
That's not beefcake.
That isn't beefcake.
not my type.
Not my Chris Evans.
Now
Chris Evans is
search
beefcake.
Chris Evans. Chris Evans shirtless.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, guys, it's just unbelievably shredded.
Yeah,
It's just ridiculous.
Now keep in mind he does steroids.
So fucking what?
yeah. Take me.
Who cares?
That's oh man.
Oh
See,
yeah,
that's before steroids.
that was before steroids.
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
Before
that could be-
steroids.
that could be
He's
some
got
light
sideburns.
steroid usage.
and
Type in
then on the
after
top
steroids.
left is steroids.
What movie's that?
That's steroids right there.
Holy
Man,
fuck.
Yeah.
Is the perfect man.
Yeah, he looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
We should put the globe on his shoulders.
Is that Bernie?
Like this is just him.
He looks good
Whenever.
there.
Yeah, he looks good.
He's all tatted up.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had tats.
There's a lot of almost naked photos.
There
of
you
him.
go. Glistening. Look at that.
Almost naked.
I could finish to that.
Holy shit.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Man, steroids are awesome.
I gotta start doing steroids.
I know. then I can be Captain America.
You have to be Canadian.
I don't think he's Canadian. I think you always say that he's
I don't think
Canadian,
he is either.
And I don't.
His dad was Kano. He died of AIDS.
Yeah, that's true.
Christopher Evans.
Maybe you're thinking
Of the ice hockey player.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe that's great picture.
He's an American
Yeah, he's born in
actor.
Boston.
Yeah, that's practically Canada.
There you go.
Anyway, yeah.
Oop.
So, yeah, Scott Eastwood. I guess he's perfect for the Furious franchise because there's really no.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah. Someone could flub a line and no one would notice.
Yeah.
They-
Like, he was the third best actor on set that day. It was just him and 2 other cars.
So-
I know.
well, we'll talk more about it on the movie podcast. But I walked back with Lawrence after the movie after he had a few, and he was just upset. He didn't enjoy the
Lawrence is
movie.
very angry.
Lawrence
but-
didn't like Fate of the Furious.
Well, it was funny too because I was
and
like,
he was
yeah.
he didn't like it so much that he was upset by it.
Yeah.
Imagine doing the walk of shame with him back to our hotel.
Oh, I don't
just
even
like a
want to
good.
imagine. He's drunk too, probably at this point.
I can't believe that pushed him to drink.
Drunk and angry.
Well,
Oh no. He was
I
Is
know.
that
kidding.
after off topic and on the spot?
This
no,
is before.
It was the day
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
So basically, he'd gone on a 24-hour bender, and now he's wondering why he's sick.
That's probably a good place to end it. All right. Well, thank you to our sponsors, Mack Weldon and Movement Watches. We appreciate it as always. And thank you to everyone watching us live right now. And any old news
Closing
from the
thoughts?
docket?
I'm gonna feather my eyebrows for Let's Play
Oh
Live.
man.
That's
Wow,
right. Let's
look
play.
at that.
Let's play live
Match
is coming
the rest
up.
of the outfit.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I believe tickets are still available at roosterteethlive.com.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah.
And the wrestling doc is probably on its way.
Soon.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, I
Yeah.
think.
We
Yeah.
saw a clip during On the Spot.
Which clip did you see?
I don't know.
It was like a
wasn't
trailer.
paying attention.
Oh,
It was
okay.
pretty good, actually. It looked
Maybe
pretty
it
good.
was the trailer I
It was
saw.
when you guys were trying on your costumes with us in the room.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
It looks like a video that was never meant to be seen by the public. Like it was just
Just
a
for
birthday.
John.
It was a birthday present
Yep.
for you and Lawrence.
Yeah. Like that Kris Jenner video where for her birthday, it's like her making.
We
her
love
own
it.
video
And then OJ
about
shows up.
shit
You're like,
on
oh, he's gonna murder people soon.
Yeah.
And it's probably Chloe's dad.
Well, on that note, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll be back in a couple minutes with the post show.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Keep it frosty.
In a reasonable way. But yeah, it's definitely been a change in
It's
the office. Like,
Pretty wild.
yeah.
Well, speaking to getting through this in a reasonable way, I mean, our plans in the immediate future are to just wait and let YouTube sort it out.
Yeah.
Or get back to us with maybe some more concrete information about what to do going forward.